everyone, so today I am doing a facial hair removal video. How I remove my peach fuzz, my beard as I like to call it. Before I start, I just want to say there is a makeup tutorial coming soon on this makeup look. It's just like a non-touring kind of makeup look. No contouring, no bronzing, just lots of highlighting. It gives a really nice fresh appearance to your skin. But yeah, I just thought I'd say right at the beginning of this video there is a tutorial coming soon, so keep an eye out for it. Moving along to the hair situation. I just want to say this straight out because this is something I strongly believe in. You should not feel pressured to do what I'm doing. You shouldn't feel pressured to do what anyone else is doing for that matter. I just want to say, you know, if you have facial hair and you're comfortable with it, then don't feel like you need to remove it because you really don't. It's totally personal preference. It's just like shaving your legs or shaving your armpits. It's up to you. This is not a rule for makeup. This is not a rule for anything. This is just what I personally like to do. So the reason I really like to do this is because I get really kind of long, fluffy, blonde hairs. They're not really visible until I put on lots of makeup or until I'm in the sunlight and the sun bounces off them and it makes them super noticeable, and I just don't dig it on myself, so I like to get rid of them. I get a lot down here. I get a lot down here and my moustache. I also get quite a lot of peach fuzz just in here. And there has been basically three main kind of, well actually no, four. There's been 4 hair removal techniques I have utilized and I finally found something I like. So I'm gonna go through all of them and just let you know the pros and cons and what's worked for me and what hasn't. Removing those little peach fuzz baby hairs just makes my makeup look a lot smoother. It makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Just makes my overall skin appearance look a lot smoother, like the texture and everything. Some people even like to remove their facial hair because it helps to exfoliate the skin and makes the skin appear smoother and younger. I don't know. I just like to get rid of it because it just drives me nuts when I put my foundation on and it all clings to it. And so the first thing I ever tried was laser hair removal, but because the hairs were blonde, it really wasn't effective. We gave it a go anyway. We thought we'd see what would happen, see if it worked, but yeah, it just didn't really work. Laser hair removal is really great if you have darker hairs, I believe. Definitely something to look into because that is permanent and they'll never come back and you'll be smooth forever. So yeah, that didn't really work for me. That was the one that I almost forgot about, the 4th one. So moving on to the other ones that I did try for quite a while. The first one was hair removal cream because I wasn't too psyched up to go straight on with a razor and like shave my face. So this was the first thing I tried and it worked really, really well at removing the hairs. The only issue was it was almost too good. So I would apply it. It's basically just a white cream, like looks like this. You just smear it over your face, leave it for a certain amount of time and then wipe it off. The hairs literally just like fall right off. It dissolves them kind of. Yeah, it was really easy. But as I was saying, it removed too many hairs. Now that sounds strange. It's like, yeah, well, you want them gone, so get rid of them. But when it comes to makeup, your makeup actually does kind of settle into your hairs on your face and it looks, normal. It's just like your forehead. You've got little hairs all over your forehead, which your makeup's sitting on top of, but it doesn't look hairy or anything, but there are hairs there. So when I applied this, especially right here, where I get a lot of long, like fluffy hairs, it would remove every single one. I would put my makeup on top the next day and it was so smooth that my powders wouldn't really grip onto my face. So you could see this line from where I would bronze and contour, where you could see where I'd removed my hair, and that lasted for 2 to 3 days. So whenever I did this, I really had to avoid wearing makeup for like 3 or 4 days afterwards, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but also isn't ideal. So yeah, it did a really good job. It was just the fact that my makeup looked really, really weird applying it afterwards. Side note, when I do remove my facial hair, I make sure to give it a day in between for my skin to settle down before I apply any makeup on top, just to avoid any irritation. The regrowth process with this was really good. It just grew in really nice and soft, just like normal hair. It wasn't sharp or anything like that. I liked it, but yeah, that was my issue. It was just too smooth afterwards and the makeup just wouldn't look good on top of it. I don't know how to explain it any better. The next method I tried was shaving. I know, scary, right? It's not really scary. No, your hair doesn't grow back thicker. The only reason it kind of feels like it's growing back thicker is because you are shaving the hairs on the surface. So that top of the hair goes from being tapered like this to completely flat where you've just shaved it off. So that gives it a kind of thick, prickly feeling, I guess. But honestly, like, I didn't even notice it like on my face. There was probably a period of like half a day where it felt a little bit prickly and then it felt fine. Like, you really don't notice it. It was very effective. I noticed that my makeup went on completely fine on top of it. I think because with this method, my hair grew back the fastest. I don't know why, it just did. So I had to do this, once a week or so. My hair all over my body grows back so fast. It's like a curse. I guess it's good for my head hair, but it's a curse. It's annoying. So yeah, I'd have to do it all the time. Whereas with this, I feel like every 2 to 3 weeks was sufficient. Also with the shaving, the reason I stopped shaving, because you know, it was going absolutely fine. It was just that I think my skin is a little bit too sensitive and it really irritated my skin and gave me little pimples down here. And that's where I never normally get pimples. I usually only really get them on my chin, hormonal breakouts and stuff like that, and the odd one on my forehead. But yeah, with this, it just, yeah, it gave me little like rash bumps and stuff like that. No matter what I use, I always made sure to use a brand new, you know, razor head. I always chose sensitive ones. I used really sensitive like face washes and stuff like that. I was really careful, but yeah, my skin just doesn't like shaving on my face, at least. So the third option I tried, and I was just randomly thinking about it, I was like, I wonder if they do epilators for the face, and it turns out they do. So the third option is a facial epilator, and I do use this in the next part of this video, like showing you how I use this to remove my facial hair. I think the batteries are kind of running out. There we go. But basically what an epilator is a ton of tiny little tweezers. So the little tweezers run along your face and pull out every hair one by one. Yes, it does hurt. It's by far the most painful option I've ever used. I haven't waxed my face. I don't know why, I just haven't. I haven't gone there, and I don't think I will because I'm just so happy with this option. Now the reason I love this so much is it pulls out all the really long fluffy hairs, but it leaves the really short hairs that you don't notice on your face. Just like how I was saying, you know, on your forehead and on your cheeks you have little baby hairs that you can't even see. It leaves those hairs alone, and it just gets rid of the really long gross hairs that I don't want on my face. So the next day I can apply makeup and it goes on so beautifully. It literally goes on like a dream, like I cannot get over it. It makes the slight pain worth it. And in saying that, the pain's not the worst thing in the entire world, you know what I mean? It's definitely a little bit painful, but it's not like horrendous. It's bearable. The place where it hurts the most is definitely right on the outer corners of your lips, but I think that's because it's like a hormonal area. But I just like shut my eyes and I just like go at it. Yeah, I really like this. You can even use it on your monobrow and like up here where I get a little bit of hair. So yeah, I'm really happy with this, and it doesn't cause me to break out or anything like that, and I just clean it off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol in between each use. And yeah, I haven't had any issues. I really like this. And the best part, because you're pulling the hairs out rather than just getting the surface hairs off with one of these options, because you're tweezing them out from the root, the results last a lot longer. With this, I probably do it like once every month and a half or so. I don't even know. It'd be about that though. Like, it's not often at all. I've only done this like 3 times. And this is why I had to put off doing my facial hair removal video. You guys know I've been promising this video to you for ages. The reason I couldn't do it was because, you know, I had to wait for the hairs to grow back. So there you go. I really like this thing. This one is by Braun. I just googled facial epilators and I found this one on a website and I bought it. So yeah, I'll put the name of it down below if you are interested in getting the exact same one as me. Otherwise, have a look around, there might be more. Don't get one that's meant for your arms and armpits and legs and stuff, because it's going to be far too big and you don't want to end up epilating off your eyebrow or something like that, you know what I mean? This one's really good because yeah, it's really teeny tiny, so you just go up and down and it makes your skin feel so smooth afterwards as well. Like, you just go like this and it's like, it's so good. So yeah, if you want to see this in action, I'll put the clip in now. Okay, so my face is clean. You just want to make sure your face is completely clean, no moisturizers, no lotions, nothing, just freshly clean skin. So I usually just do it like an hour or so after I have a shower, and I just make sure I don't put anything on, including like perfume and stuff. And I also usually do this on a day when I'm not wearing makeup, just to give my skin a little bit of time to settle down after the epilating, because it can be kind of harsh. So it's really good to do this on like a Sunday or something like that, or just when you're bumming around home doing nothing at all. So I have no idea if you can see my hairs. They're way more noticeable when I actually have makeup on. I get them all down here as well. I can definitely feel them. So here's my epilator, which I showed you in the intro of the video. This is completely clean and sterilized, and it's got 2 directions. So you want to go against the growth of your hair, is it? I can never remember, but I just do it until I can feel it getting ripped out, and trust me, you can feel it. So you turn it on and it rotates. So I basically use it horizontally. I usually just start from one side of my face and kind of move my way across, and I usually just go back again one more time to get any hairs that I've missed. This is all you do. And if you have a look really closely, this is really gross, but you can kind of see the little hairs in there. And I do get really red when I do this, but throughout the day it just goes away. Ooh, it hurts. See, through this area here, like as I'm doing this, I can notice that this area isn't that hairy. It's not really picking up that many hairs. The hairs through here don't grow that fast on me, so I don't have to do it very often. It's more like in here and the sideburns and up here a little bit that I get really hairy really quick. By the way, also make sure your hands are clean. I feel like that's such an obvious like thing to say, but make sure that you really thoroughly wash your hands and everything, because it's just really easy to get germs transferred around when you're doing this kind of thing and you don't want to like break out. This is the worst part. I feel like this area hurts the most. I usually have to go in like 4 or 5 times and just do like one at a time and like give myself a moment to recover. And also the more you do it, like the more times you go over that area, it kind of gets a little bit numb, so it stops hurting so much. Yeah, that's how you can tell when you're done, when you kind of go over your skin and it doesn't do anything, it just stops hurting. There's no hairs left, and then you have a feel and oh, so baby smooth. And I don't go past like here, like under my cheekbone. I don't go up here or anything because I don't personally have a problem with any hair up there. You can just do whatever you feel comfortable with. As I said, like you don't have to remove your facial hair if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. There's nothing wrong with facial hair. So yeah, that's basically it. I hope this answered your guys' questions. All I do now is I take a little bit of water, like just fresh water, and I just kind of splash it over my face to get rid of any hairs that are kind of just sitting on my skin. And then I'll use a really light, gentle moisturizer. If you have any more questions, just tweet me or something like that and I can try to help. So yeah, that is how I remove my facial hair. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe as well. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye! Or don't forget to check out some more of my videos if you enjoyed this one. I'll put the links to these two on the screen down below if you can't click them from your computer screen. The video on the left is a brush machine, doesn't really work review video, and the other video is an Ariana Grande side to side makeup tutorial. I hope you guys like them.